You gonna do it?
Boom. Doing it. Can't believe
Doing
it.
it.
God, it's been fucking almost a month, I think, since we've been doing this thing.
I'm dying.
Brian's dying? Like,
Yeah.
fucking pets' heads are getting chopped off here.
How'd he die? His head fell off.
His head fell off.
Oh my god. I'm so fucking stoked to be back and doing this. I guess maybe that's why that bowl was a little bigger than I probably should have made it.
Yeah, that excited toke just a little too fast.
Well, that's always me. They don't call me B-load for nothing.
That is true. That is true. There are reasons for that.
There are very much. So, dude, how are you doing, man? You've been out of town, now finally back?
Yeah, finally back. Got back last week. Yeah, dude, just crazy shit with new house, doing projects, honeymoon, fucking road tripping around, just driving around the Southwest and Grand Canyon and Route 66 and all that, and back in town now. But it feels good to be back.
And you also had a wedding that a few of the other guys in the league were at, right?
Yeah, there was a few folks there, but man, that feels like a long time ago. That was what, July? That's like three.
No, not your wedding. Not your wedding.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, Colby, our buddy Colby up here from the Bay Area got married. And let's see who was there. Joey
Nick
was there.
Oh yeah, Joey
Nick
said he was
Nick
there.
was there. That was pretty fun. I got to Siobhan and I got to share a cabin thing in the woods, basically with Nick and Tina.
Oh, that's always got to be a good
A
time.
lot of tequila and whiskey and smoking and beers. It was definitely a good time, and sleeping on bunk beds. So it was like going back to kids camp, except we were the adults and people were just partying the whole time.
Going back to kids camp, but you're certainly not doing those kids activities. If that's what you were doing at fucking sixth grade camp, if they were taking you and they were giving you fucking whiskey, tequila, smoking you guys out and shit like that, like I went to the wrong fucking sixth grade camp.
Yeah, I mean, that really would explain a lot though, but unfortunately do not have that excuse for anything that's happened in my life since then.
Even still though, I'm glad that you had a good finally gotten a chance to get your honeymoon done, because I know you guys put that off for a little bit. You got had a bunch of stuff after the wedding, and but dude, now that we're back, we've missed a couple weeks actually. Let's see.
Yeah.
So last podcast we did was, what did we say? Week 3?
Week 3, yeah. So, and then we missed weeks 4, 5, and 6. So we've only missed half the season so far.
Okay,
so pretty fucking good.
Just as something kind of fun, I just kind of want to go back, just backtrack just a tiny little bit. Okay, so when we were at week 3, let's take a look and see who was the highest scorer in week 3.
That was Phil.
Phil, okay, and we did not talk about no.
We talked about it, because week
this was
3's podcast was to preview week 3, so
we did not.
I think you congratulated him in your league manager's note, which you've been really. You've been pretty good, at least about having one for the most part. So
trying to. Dude,
always
Joey
nice.
put Joey set a pretty high bar to reach with his weekly posts, and he was even like calling out like individual people, highlighting like people's favorite sports team and shit. So the bar was set high.
Yeah.
So
Joey's always on top of all that kind of stuff, and he is on top of us, constantly asking us, "Where the fuck is the new podcast?
Where the fuck is that?
Why aren't you doing one this week?
Why are you guys not doing the simplest fucking thing that all of us just require of you?" I mean, in all honesty, you guys, you're right. We've been dicking around. I probably could have tried to figure it out on my own, like many of you actually suggested to me. Like, why don't you just do it yourself? The truth is, I'm a lazy motherfucker, and if Sean's gonna do the work for me, I will much rather have that happen.
Well, the bigger problem is, I mean, look, I'm not gonna sit here and say you're not a lazy bastard, but it's really a software issue. It's that when we record these calls, I've got the software on my computer. It's paid software. It's for a Mac. Brian's got a PC, so there's an issue there that would make it challenging. So. Brian, I would say you're absolutely off the hook here. We talked about if you could have done it, we talked about it, but I don't know. It just seemed too difficult. I just don't know how we would have gotten over the call recording issue.
if you could pick anybody, Sean,
Yeah.
anybody in this league that was going to be your number 2, your backup, you go down, ACL, done for the season. Who is your backup? Who is going to be coming in for you?
That's a damn good question.
I'm sure now everybody is, ooh, yes, Sean, who would be your backup? Dun, 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 dun.
Brian, I would have to say it would be
for me.
So it's like a couple. I mean, I could make a case for basically everybody in the league because we have a fucking cool league and a lot of interesting people. I mean, a couple ones that jump out that maybe are don't first come to mind is. It'd be interesting to have Phil because
I was about to say
hosts a radio show. I don't even know. I'm not sure if everybody even knows that.
I didn't know about this. I can't even remember. I don't know who it was that told me about this.
It was probably him when he came over to Nick's house.
I don't think. I got to meet Phil for the first time, which was awesome. I don't remember us talking about like our jobs or anything because it was Nick's party and we were all drinking and having like a grand old time. But I feel like I had just heard that recently that Phil actually does work at a radio station. And I don't think we've never had Phil on the show. And dude, we need an actual expert to come on in.
Yeah, he works at a radio station. He cleans toilets at a radio station. So
that's better than us right now. I would say that's closer to the radio business than we are.
No, but I know he hosts some sort of kind of like local independent radio show. Man, I would hate to say that's kind of all I really know about it, but it does sound cool. I kind of wish I could hear it, but I think he'd probably be better than us. I am not afraid to say that. I think he would be substantially better than we would be.
Almost anybody would be better than us.
And I think that's true too. And I think I mentioned it on another podcast a couple weeks ago is that I really want to get Jimmy on one of these podcasts because the guy, he's just like a sleeper, dark horse kind of guy. He's super funny, kind of quiet, but when you get him going, he has some funny things to say. So, but
I don't know. I don't remember a quiet Jimmy. I feel the few times that I met Jimmy, it was in a pure it was like a pure party atmosphere. I want to say it was both the bachelor party, right? Yeah. We also did the wedding. I can't remember. Did he come up? He did not come up to Nick's birthday party, did he?
I don't think so. Yeah.
I don't think he did. No, so maybe it's only been a couple times that Jimmy and I have gotten to hang on out, but I don't know too much about Quiet. I feel like the Jimmy that I met was a nice, lively character and definitely seems like he'd be a good candidate to have on the show. And funny enough, I think we had even mentioned we had heard about an unexpected person that I never really would have thought would have wanted to have been on the podcast because they I guess they've been entertained by it or have heard it a few times.
The female variety?
I am talking about the female variety.
Yeah, Misha Vargas. Tina.
Bump. There we go. Sorry about that, buzzsaw. But yes, no, Tina had expressed interest. So that would have been pretty cool to get the fiance, wife's, girlfriend's perspective of listening to our misery in fantasy football and how pathetic we all are.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know Tina loves to make fun of us for being so nerdy and so into this weird fantasy football and podcast stuff.
I mean, not only that, but I don't know if she still does. I know she did it at one point in time. She was in a couple leagues, so I know she's no slouch when it comes to fantasy football. So she might have her own opinion on quite a few of these things on how shitty or amazing we're putting our teams together.
I agree, and it would really be nice to hear her whole side of her perspective of how Nick approaches football and fantasy, kind of that dirty side that we probably don't get to see on those weekends when he's at home by himself with 6 screens in front of him. Like, Tina, don't fucking talk to me. I'm watching football. Like, I don't know. I would love to get her perspective on that. And she wants to come on. So we got to make that happen in the next couple of weeks.
Well, we're going to have to, and we got to at least get a podcast going in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to, so we are definitely going to be working at this, trying to get as many of these out, every single week. Try to keep it on a consistent day to get them on out, but sometimes, schedules don't always work. So, but we will do our best to do that, you guys. So, now that we are here, we are rolling. let's see. Where do we leave off? Okay, so we said last podcast that we had was week 3. Phil did end up winning the high score for that particular week. And if I want to make sure, so this was my first. I think this was my first win against Derek, and the standings have actually shaken up a lot. I want to like a lot since we left off.
Yeah.
Didn't we say, weren't we talking about the last podcast how we were fucking scared shitless of Jimmy's team? That Jimmy's team was just like, it was so primed and ready to go, and there was just like his team was stacked. He was getting the highest score every single week. We were for sure like, wow.
Yeah, Jimmy was 2-0. I remember he slaughtered me. Well, not slaughtered me, but like the first week he had like 130 something. I had 125. Like he was scoring a lot, and we were like, damn, Jimmy's team. Mm-hmm. We picked him, I think, in our pick'ems for week 3. And then Jesus, in true form, like how wrong were we about that? Jimmy has been on a very rough slide here ever since then. So I guess, maybe that's what happens. You start talking up somebody on the podcast, and it's the curse of the podcast.
I go, yes, because we hold so much power. Well, I don't know.
I just want to have power.
We did both get into the championship last year. Maybe we do have power. No. But no, I will say there was a shit ton of bad luck for Jimmy. First of all, I mean, Derek Carr ended up going on down, right?
Yeah, Derek Carr, went down for a couple weeks. So
Amari Cooper has not been the player that I think we all thought he was going to be.
Yeah, he probably used him for a couple weeks and didn't get shit from it, and then now he doesn't even have Amari Cooper anymore.
Exactly. There was our first trade. I mean, so much has been going on.
First and only trade.
So, okay, so let's. I mean, geez, Sean, where do we even start with all this different stuff?
All right, well, let's quickly just call out, the winners from the other weeks. Just to, I have to say, I've been liking the $10 payout, just the option. I mean, I won it one week, but it's not really why I like it. Just looking at the list, so Phil won in week 3. I don't
like it.
Oh yeah, you don't like it because so far nothing has happened.
I put it all together. I don't like it because I haven't won once.
Hey,
John,
we're only halfway there.
Speaking of the people that have won it in the last 2 weeks, John, as a matter of fact, has not but won 2 of those wins.
Well, that's the interesting part, and that's why I like it. And then you've got Misha has one right in there as well,
right in the middle.
But up until John won it again this last week, it was a different person every week. So it's cool. Money's getting spread around. It's not going to the same person. But then, for example, I think John is a perfect example of right now he's tied basically for last place, even though he's really in 8th place. But he's already won $20 of his buy-in back. So it's like, you know what? There really is always something to play for. Even if you're in last place, you can still get some money.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I am very glad that we ended up doing. Well, I'll be a lot more glad when I win. Once. But no, I think this is a cool, a cool thing that we can be doing this year. Have it going all the way up to the playoffs. Once the playoffs set, it'll just be the purse by that point in time.
Yep.
But even still, by the time if you're out of the playoffs and you're John and you've already, won like 2 or 3 weeks, well, your buy-in is now like what, $35 or something like that. Like, dude, it's not nearly as bad as saying goodbye to that 65 and not coming away with anything. So I totally agree. And yeah, with the standings the way they are now.
Yeah, this is crazy because I remember on the last podcast a few weeks ago, we were talking about how depending on how the matchups played out, it could either put people further away from the top and bottom or almost bring up more of a bottleneck. And ever since then, I mean, where we're at right now, we have a huge bottleneck. And I don't know if I've ever seen it like this before, where you've got the outlier right now. That's Nick. I mean, Nick, congratulations. You've won 3 times in a row and you're 5-1. Sole possession of first place. And then basically second to last place is only a 2-win differential. And that, I mean, Jesus, when you're halfway through the regular season, like 2 is pretty easy to make up. So everybody is still very, very much in it right now. Usually it feels like we always have at least one or two people that are either way at the top or one or two that are just way at the bottom, but we don't have that.
It was like that. It was like that a couple weeks
ago.
It
was, yeah. Even like
I think
before
Derek
this week,
had.
I think Derek
had?
was 1-4. I think John was, or sorry, not 1-4. 1-4. John was 1-4. So yeah, a couple people getting their second wins, and then a few people like Joey, and of course Jimmy that kind of went on a couple short or longer skids and kind of put them back to reality. So it's really brought people closer together in the standings.
Yeah, no kidding.
I gotta. Joey is one lucky motherfucker too. Did you see he won by half a point from the Monday night game?
Was it just half? Oh my God, it was just half a point.
Yeah, he beat Phil, I believe, by half a point, and classic Joey fashion. The texts the day before of, oh man, I'm fucking I'm out. There's no way I'm coming back, and he's telling me that it looks like my team won, and then he fucking wins.
It was DeMarco, because you know who he didn't have? He did not start Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry was fucking just destroying it that night.
Yeah,
and I remember that, but yeah, so DeMarco ended up doing it for him barely.
Yeah, so Joey would have been on a 3-game skid if he didn't pull that one out. So, but still, I mean, he's at 4-2. So it's cool. It's cool that everybody's still pretty close. It's very, very competitive right now. Nick sitting at the top, but God, if if we were to actually pull into the standings right now and see kind of the points for and the points against, Nick wins the luck award so far, the soft schedule award.
So we could and now let's see where Nick ranks in the points for. Nick is the second most for the points. So I mean,
okay,
so yes,
gotta
Nick
give him that. Gotta give him that.
He's had a high scoring season.
Yeah.
However, Nick, before, yes, I know you're already smiling and be like, yeah, that's right, muff. I know I put my team. No. You have to admit, you got lucky on a lot of these. I mean, you are almost over 100 lower than the next team.
Than the next team. And then if you even want to just go crazy, he's almost 300 points lower than Jimmy. I mean, that's just fucking absurd. So, I mean,
me and Jimmy have had a
Jimmy and John have definitely had the real tough schedules.
Trying our best.
That's like we've always said, that's the way fantasy goes.
I think I had 2 weeks straight where I had the highest score against me, which pissed me off.
Yeah, that is never fun. Especially if your team actually did good that week. I mean, it's one thing if you just dropped an egg, but yeah.
No, well, now let's take a look and actually go through, since I feel like we're a little bit all over the place. I know we have so much that we want to talk about, but we're in the standings right now. We did say that Nick has sole possession. Let's get into second place. So second place we have sorry, let me put this back.
We've got Misha and we've got Joey.
Yep, there we go.
So Misha and Joey, I mean, they're sort of middle tier when it comes to how many points they've scored.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and as far as points against, Joey is actually the second.
Oh, see, look at that. The top 3 people, Nick, Joey, and Misha, are the 3 lowest for points against.
Oh, well, that's not surprising. The question
it's not surprising, but yeah.
But we want to see the points for are going to tell a lot. So that's going to tell where they've been.
Yeah, Misha's running
in
4th, Joey's in 6th, though kind of middle to
the middle ground,
second tier. Yeah.
So they've been the sort of the middle rung scoring, but have not had that horrible of competition. Well, actually, they have had that horrible competition, which is why they have gotten so low.
So overall, if you go by that, they've scored decent amount of points. Not like they've been purely lucky, but I would assume they've probably had a couple lucky matchups where they've played some very soft opponents and got away with some easy wins. I mean, that's just how it is when you're really low on points against you.
Yeah, and then in third place we have a 3-way tie. We got you, at the with the highest, right? Let's see where he. No. What? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm 3-3, and I've got the most points for.
There we go. It keeps every time I adjust this, it won't reset for me for some reason. So yeah, so you're at 705. Chris is next at 684.5.
Now Nick is next at 687.
Oh, I'm just talking about for the people tied.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so for the people tied at 3. And then I'm down at 670. So I've got you got what 35 points on me, so I'm not too far behind,
it's
but
pretty,
I
pretty
still
damn close.
we got some catching up to do. And then here's where the interesting part is. So we had a 2-way tie for second, a 3-way tie for third. How many do you think we have tied for fourth?
I was told there would be no math.
Oh, okay. We'll just say 4.
Let's just say 4.
Let's just say 4. Okay. So we've got Philip on top. Barely. He's barely leading John in this. He's only ahead of John
by 1.5 or 1 point.
Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, one point. That's it. So Phil, you need to keep the Jets on if you want to. If you need to keep climbing, if John is going to be climbing with you, because John has gotten some. I mean, talk about an up and down fantasy season as far as fantasy news is concerned. Zeke isn't playing. He is playing. He isn't playing.
What the fuck? This is the most ridiculous. Like, I am sick of hearing about fucking Zeke playing or not playing at this point.
I'm sick because I feel there were so many people that didn't get this lucky with him getting so many appeals and all this shit.
Seriously.
Jesus. But yeah, so John, the points are going to be roaring. Derek, has gotten it together. He's finally gotten a couple wins in a row. So and I think he might have been 0-4 at one point in time.
Is he on a? Yeah, he was 0-4, and then has won 2 games to be 2-4.
Jeez.
Crazy. So anything can happen. I mean,
and speaking of
yeah.
Talk about anything can happen. Now we have Jimmy, unfortunately, at last. Oof. But that's because he was at a 2-0 win streak and then lost 4. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, Jimmy is definitely looking for anything he can get right now, I would imagine. That is a 4 in a row. I've been there in past years before. I remember, God, I think it was either 2 or 3 years ago. I think I was like 5-0 or 6-0, feeling so fucking good, and then I lost every single game throughout the rest of the regular season and didn't make the playoffs.
Oh.
But so I know what these streaks are like. So Jimmy, hopefully not against me. You can figure out a way to turn it around.
Well, there was one thing I did want to check out really quick. I wanted to confirm something that I thought, and I think it is going to be true. Oh, God, that sucks. All right, so I think Jimmy, this last week, he would have beaten any other person if he didn't play, he would have beaten anybody else except for John.
Oh, wow.
John,
yeah, that's a fucking 141 and you don't win. I mean, that's...
So that is... And 141, I think, might be like third.
That's like the
it's
third
the third
or fourth
highest.
highest.
Yeah, third or fourth highest score that we have
all season.
And yeah, and it's just, dude, that is, not only that,
that's just the definition of bad luck, bad schedule.
The 156.5 is the highest score so far.
That's a monster.
So, dude, this is some bad luck. But at the same time, Jimmy did make our first trade, which I guess we could kind of talk about now that we've gotten through the standings.
Yeah.
Now, do I have that trade? Where is that? It is all the way down here. Okay. So that was all the way back at the beginning of October, like October 10th. It was Amari Cooper and Matt Ryan for Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
Now, how's Tyreek Hill been doing since that trade?
I mean, he's been doing fine. He hasn't, he just started off so fucking explosively. Like, the bar was set so high, you almost feel like, oh, yeah, he's not even that good anymore. No, he's still the number 1 running back in fantasy football for ESPN.
Well, no, not running back. This is Tyreek Hill.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God, yeah.
I know who you're thinking of.
Yeah, I'm thinking of, what the fuck is his name on the same team?
Why am I blanking on his name? Joey is
Anyways,
just Hunt.
yeah,
Kareem
Kareem Hunt. God damn it,
Yeah,
Kareem Tyreek. Like, come on, I can't keep track of all this shit.
dude. Okay,
But
but
no,
like,
Tyreek. I think he's been like maybe a little up and down, but pretty
yep,
dang solid.
a little down this week, but he
But
had
like
14
a
last.
helpful person to have on your team.
But at the same time, how has Matt Ryan been doing? And Amari, that's right, that was the other.
Amari hasn't been doing much of anything.
Yeah, I don't remember him doing much of anything, and that's sort of unfortunate. Where's Joey? Here we go. Here's Joey's team. Matt Ryan has, eesh, gosh, 13 last week against Miami. What?
Yeah, that was a surprising one where
He had a pick.
the Falcons got beat by lowly Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler. Who would believe it? And they got New England next. But New England has been.
Either way, I think that trade was pretty fucking even. I would say
it was
pretty
even.
fair. I mean, Joey definitely needed a quarterback because he had been streaming quarterbacks most of the season. Well, he had Roethlisberger, and then after that 5 interception game, fucking had it with Roethlisberger.
God. Yeah.
And so, it's like, well, do you go to stream or do you try and see if you've got some pieces that you can make a trade on? So,
Matt Ryan's not a bad piece to pick.
No, not at all. Like he's, aside from his 13 last week, he's been a damn good, really serviceable quarterback for fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a fine trade to pick up that piece, and he
Well,
had
not only that,
plenty of receiving help to give away Tyreek.
Yeah, and he's got Julio, so he's got the stack. So that's
yeah. Oh, and the other thing was that didn't Jimmy has Alex Smith? Is that right?
Yep.
And so
Tyreek
now
Hill,
Tyreek,
he has the stack. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like the teams are poised to do better. I mean, look, Jimmy scored like the third highest, third or fourth highest score, of the season that we've had so far. Just unfortunately, it was against the highest score we've had so far. He's on a 4-game losing streak, but at the same time, he's got McKinnon now, who just fucking killed it last week, and he had 23 the week before. Still has Antonio Brown, who is Antonio Brown. You're never going to be with down on Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Montgomery, I don't know what's going to happen with Montgomery since his injury, and now that Aaron Rodgers is down, what the hell is going to happen? That Cobb's value is going to take a huge hit, but he's still got Deshaun Jackson, who has been doing good this. Yeah, dude, I think Jimmy's team is going to be doing fine, and Joey is where in second right now.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's fine. What else? What other interesting matchups do we have this last week? I know. We can talk about mine and Misha's a little bit later, I guess. That was a fucking dogfight. What happened with yours?
For mine.
Wait. Did you want to talk about something else before we get into the scores?
Yeah, I mean, I think just continuing on with the theme of just sort of catching up on half the season that we missed here, and you were saying before that we're actually basically at the halfway point of the regular season right now, so it's kind of like a little halfway through recap. Where are we at right now? I thought it'd be kind of fun to go back and look at the first round of the draft and just see, who picked what and how good are those picks? Did they work out? Are they gone? Or were they busts? Like, I'm just super curious to go look. 'Cause we've had a lot of injuries, a lot of people, not performing up to those standards. So I think it'd be
big injuries too. Like injuries. I mean, in the first couple rounds.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's crazy that the pretty much unanimous overall number 1 draft pick for any league got put on IR after the first game of the season. David Johnson.
He had 9 points. 9 points.
Yeah, and probably Derek would be in a different place. Could be in a different place right now if he had David Johnson in there. That's obviously, if you lose your first round draft pick, it's going to be a big blow, and especially if you've got the first overall pick, you expect a lot out of that.
Absolutely. Now, next you have Nick, and he takes Le'Veon,
Takes
who
Le'Veon, yeah.
and Le'Veon had a slow first game, but since then has been just fine. He's the fifth ranked back right now, so Nick's happy.
Yeah, that's a great pick. You can't go wrong with that.
Antonio Brown is the number
one receiver. Like that's obviously
you're
a great pick there. And then we get to Chris's team, LaShawn McCoy, who LaShawn McCoy has not been terrible, but
but at number 4.
Yeah,
he's number 4,
and he's the 17th ranked running back right now. So that's certainly not the value you were hoping to get out of your number 4 pick.
Well, he was on bye this last week, so he's got the entire rest of the season. He's got Tampa Bay, Jets, Chargers. Who else would be soft? Maybe New Orleans. Yeah, I think he's got some favorable matchups. Yeah. So he might end up finishing like top 10. Could even finish top like 5 if he really, really gets shit going. But there are some other backs that are just destroying. I was hoping the next one was going to be a back, but nope, I'm wrong. It's Julio, who is 31st.
Yeah, Julio has not been Julio so far this year yet. He has not had any breakout games.
No touchdowns.
Only one game over 100 yards, and he just barely got it. So definitely not. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you've got Julio. You're going to play him obviously every week. And he can explode at any time.
I don't care if he's the 100th rank. I'm starting Julio Jones unless I hear that there's absolutely no reason to. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Now here we go. Another fucking injury.
Yeah, Misha.
God.
Odell. That's a huge loss. Like, I mean, Odell started very slow, then started coming into his own form, and then it was like, oh shit, here we go, Odell going off, and then boom, massive injury.
God, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. We've got 2 out of the top 6 are out for the season, most likely.
That is ridiculous. Oh my God, 2 people's first round draft picks are gone.
It's fucking nuts. Yeah, things can change pretty quickly.
So let's get in. So next we have Phil with Jordy, Jordy has, I mean, when you look at the numbers, they're up and down, but right now he's the 5th ranked wideout. Those two touchdown games really were nice.
I mean, Jordy's doing his Jordy thing. Like, look at all these touchdowns he's got. That's who he was last year. He doesn't go over 100 yards, really frequently, but he's a touchdown machine.
What do you think?
I mean,
what do you think is going to happen now?
I mean, who knows? Obviously, who knows? He's usually good for a lot of receptions, which is good. He's a big target, but I mean, this week I'm certainly banking that Green Bay is not going to be very good because I am doing something I never thought I would do, and I'm going to be playing New Orleans defense because they're playing against Green Bay this week. So that's how I feel about it.
Who knows? Yeah, he might be fucking tossing up fucking candies.
Oh, dude, seriously.
So I guess that's going to have to be a wait and see. So we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. Wow, though, that's pretty crazy. All right, so now we have another first round draft pick that's seriously affected by a major injury. All right, let's take a look at Mike Evans at 8.
I mean, he's a 13th ranked receiver right now, but I would not be worried at all. I'm
not worried. You.
And he already had his bye, so
exactly. He has every single game left.
Exactly. I am not worried about Mike Evans at all. He's getting touchdowns. He's getting receptions. He'll have some big games in there. So
that's okay. We'll see.
And I'd be feeling fine with that. And then we get to you, Brian. You've got Devontae. Yeah, I mean, maybe not as good as you were hoping, but
last week not as good as I was hoping. I mean, he already has it.
He already had his bye week, so he should be ranked a little higher if he had as many games as everybody else.
Yeah,
but I mean, what I'm seeing for stats is looking nice though. Like touchdowns in every single game except this last week, and that was last week was a fucking freak game.
God damn it. Yeah. I'm hoping that he'll just like New England's defense does not look anything legit. Now, we all know about Tom Brady and everything else, but I don't know. I'm hoping that the Falcons just score a shit ton. Maybe they want to get revenge on the Super Bowl. Maybe this is like a really high-scoring game. It's at New England.
Yeah, I could see it being a high-scoring game for sure.
And then we got you with Michael Thomas.
Yeah, not feeling too great. He's the 23rd ranked. He's had his bye.
No, has had his bye, and it was just 2 games that were not great.
Yeah. This last one hurts. It's surprising to see when you've got Drew Brees throwing, and you're the number 1 target. But last week for the Saints was pretty fucking weird. The defense scored 3 touchdowns, and there was 2 rushing touchdowns, so they didn't have to throw it around very much. So I get it. I'm not super worried about it. Just a bummer, but so hopefully better days are ahead.
Okay, now let's getting into the second round because I think this is where it also gets a little interesting. Melvin.
Yeah, that's where I'm really happy so far.
He's
Melvin
the
Gordon.
fourth. Yeah, those 2 last games. I mean, I'm sure they really helped put him up high on the list. 31 and 30.5. Those are great games. But even still, other than that 2.5. Great numbers. He's got a couple touchdowns. He's getting only the rushes,
receiving
he's
touchdowns.
getting the reception. Yeah, the receiving
and
touchdowns
receptions too. Yeah,
and receptions. Like, yeah, he's working. So that's great. AJ Green. Oh boy, AJ, I just need you. I need you at all points in time. I didn't have him this last weekend, but
yeah, he's been pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, making me all that talk about I could have picked up AJ. Maybe instead of Michael Thomas, and I opted out because I just for some reason just don't really like him, but I would like him right now if I had him.
He's number 4, so not too bad. And here's where we get really interesting.
Yeah, the whole Zeke show. I mean, John, maybe people question, oh wow, picking up Zeke in the second round. You don't know. If he's going to start on the 6-game suspension or if that's going to happen later. Still don't really know what the fuck's going on with that. But, hey, John's had his boy, and despite just that one really bad game,
that one bad game,
his bye week, like, he's been really good.
He's the 9th ranked with his bye week. Yeah, so he's certainly going to be doing good, and he's playing this weekend. So, so far so good, I guess, John. Like, I'm gonna say that was certainly a risk going into it, but I mean, you gambled, and that, dude, you're, soaking it all up right now. It really paid off.
Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely. So
now, Phil, Jordan Howard.
I mean, not terrible.
Not terrible. Actually, much better than I was thinking. I was looking at that 0 and the 7, but at the same time, he's the 6th ranked running back.
Yeah, and God, look at that. For that last game against Baltimore, he had 36 attempts. What the fuck? That's such a high number. So they were just force-feeding him.
Wow.
So, I mean, Jordan Howard's pretty fucking good, so I wouldn't be too worried about him.
Sorry, Phil, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is probably one of your radio tips. Always have your stuff on up before you start making sounds into the microphone. Okay, Gronk, next. Number 2 tight end. He's been getting points and only 2 games, I guess, that have been disappointing.
One game he didn't play. He was ruled out of that
Week
that's
5
right. Game
okay.
right beforehand. So, he'd probably, if he played that game, he'd probably be the number 1 tight end.
Yeah, I mean, geez.
And he's putting up good points. Like, Gronk is
2 touchdowns last
Gronk
game
over here.
Joey's got DeMarco, who has been, I would say, kind of a disappointment.
I would say disappointment as well, yeah. I mean, he's had two good games and then 4 bad games. And that, I mean, fucking, yeah, that's a tough one where you're just like, God, I don't know. Should I be rolling out DeMarco every week? Is Derrick Henry going to be going off? Like, what's going on with that run game?
Yeah, no kidding. 22nd, yeah, that's just not where you want him to be. Next we got Brandon Cooks, who's been, I would say, pretty goddamn decent.
I don't know. I'd be curious to see what Chris thinks about having him. I feel like he's a frustrating guy where he's only had 1 really good game where he scored 30.5. I mean, that's basically half
why
of his
he's up at 9.
points.
Yeah,
exactly. So I think people expected a lot more and better consistency from Brandon Cooks. Like, you're the number one receiver
If
on
you
Tom
are, yes,
Brady's
and
team.
he
Like,
is-
why are you not getting, much more attention? But Brady does love to spread it around too.
And Gronk's been getting plenty of love and been getting a lot of those touchdowns. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at all right. Yeah, the receptions at the kind of the beginning of the season certainly weren't there. I mean, that 131, that big game was just off of 5 receptions. So that's pretty impressive. But look at this last game at the Jets, right? 6 for 93. Like before that, 5 for 85. Like I feel and I'm not sure where his targets are.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I wish, and that's why it's always fun to see, if people have been really looking into their players and, taking a look. Because if he's getting the targets, dude, Tom Brady targets, I can't deny that. If Tom Brady is looking my way a lot, I want to be having that player on in.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see about that. But I think you're right. I think there might be some frustration there, but that's Chris's team, so he might be willing to deal with that frustration.
Yep. Yeah, I think, when Tom Brady's throwing to you, you have a chance of a big game any week, so you always have high expectations for him, so we'll see what happens. And then I would say this next one's really a frustrating one. So Jimmy Jay Ajayi in the second round, I would say pretty big disappointment so far.
Now this was another one of those, the teams that had the bye week in the first week, so he's already had the bye. But at the same time, those 3 weeks in between the 14-point games, 2, 4.5, and 6, it's not what you want.
Yeah, and this was another one I know where kind of people called it out, or maybe he called it out, of like, why are you not fucking feeding this guy? He is the focal point of your offense, and you're not giving him the ball very much, and then then they finally do, and he gets 130 yards. So, maybe there's better days ahead for Jay Ajayi, but definitely when that's your second overall pick, you're pretty disappointed right now.
You want a touchdown, no touchdowns.
Yeah, that's fucking disappointing.
Well, damn. And then here we go.
Yikes.
The next big major injury.
Yeah, that's a huge bummer for Nick. Aaron Rodgers probably done for the season. Maybe he'll get him if Nick makes it that deep into the playoffs, but that's kind of a pipe dream. On
I don't
both
know.
sides
What was
right
it?
now.
Was it surgery on his collarbone?
It's clavicle, yeah, basically his collarbone. They're saying at least out probably till week 15, so that's going to be, deep into the playoffs for us, and then who knows what the timetable
would you even
will be
want?
like.
Yeah, would you even want to play him off of a recovered dude? That is such a big blow. I don't know what the hell Nick's going to do.
Well,
He's got to do something.
Now you've got the decision to make. Do you want to keep Rodgers on your bench in the hopes that maybe he has a quick recovery and you're deep in the playoffs?
But what is he going to do?
But then you've got a bench spot taken up for the rest of the season. So
all right,
I don't know.
Well, I guess we can get into this a little bit later, but yeah, that's a big blow. I mean, I think Nick is in a really. If you were going to be in any position to have this problem, Nick's in the best position to have this problem at 5-1. But
True.
The other teams are not too far behind, so he certainly needs to get the ball rolling and figure out a solution, make sure it's working.
That's a big blow. Rodgers has been really good this year, and definitely the carrier team to the playoffs type player. So.
Yeah, he was the number 5 quarterback.
Yeah, and that's with getting 0 points in that last game.
Yeah, being injured right away.
So who knows what Nick's going to do? He doesn't have a quarterback on his bench, so he's going to have to do something.
Yep, and gosh, I guess rounding out the second round, talk about, I guess, frustrating players. Maybe this would be Dez. I don't know. I mean, he's already had his bye, and he has 3 games where he has a touchdown.
Yeah, I would say like you want more probably out of Dez, but he's not
for a second
he's
rounder?
He's not killing your team.
No,
I would say. since he's
No.
already had his bye, but you definitely you're wanting more out of him.
You're still starting him.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been here for a little bit. I think we would just maybe breeze really quickly through some notables, actually, just looking at the third and the fourth round. Tom Brady, no big deal. Lamar, I think a lot of these players are where we expected them to be. Leonard Fournette,
Oof,
that's one that I want to talk about. Big surprise.
Man,
wow.
Talk about consistent and just putting it out there. My God. Definitely. I mean, there was a big rookie class of running backs coming into this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I didn't know much about Fournette coming into this year. And so he wasn't like, I mean, he was on the radar of like, this is a notable rookie running back. Like, you should draft him if it gets to that point. But, I didn't know he was going to be this fucking good.
No kidding. No, I mean he's the third best. He's the third best running back. You got him in the third round.
Yeah, and being on the Jaguars, like they have struggled to find people to run the ball there, considering how many times they're getting blown out of games, and so just the fact that he's doing it on a team that doesn't historically have like a killer offensive line or super strong rushing game,
Well,
it's
not
even
since
more impressive.
not since MJD.
Yeah, even in the later years of MJD's career, he wasn't doing that well. But
No, he wasn't. But I
yeah.
remember those early years where he was just a touchdown machine. But okay, funny enough, the very next pick. I know we're not going to focus too much on the rest of the rounds, but the very next pick.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt. Yeah.
There you go, Tariq Hill. It's even right in front of
no,
you.
Okay, I was thinking of Tariq Cohen, the guy on the Bears, but yeah, I cannot get these fucking names right.
Okay, there you go. Kareem Hunt, third round pick, number 1 running back. And I'm probably sure it's thanks to that goddamn 42-point game.
Those first 3 weeks were just like meteoric. 42 and a half, 23 and a half, 25 and a half, and he's sort of come back down to earth a little bit, but he's still,
not
still
a touchdown,
fucking crushing
no
it with
rushing touchdown since as he had no receiving touchdown either.
But just getting a lot of use, which is just really nice. And then just Alex Smith having a nice resurgence this year. That always bodes well for the rushing attack, so it's not just a one-dimensional offense. So yeah, nice.
Funny enough, dude, the third round is apparently the money round where everybody got their running backs. So
Todd Gurley, the top 2 running backs came in the third round so far.
Top 3 running backs. Top
oh yeah,
3
with
running
Fournette,
backs.
With Fournette,
the
too.
top 3 running backs came in the third round.
Yeah,
wow.
And man, I really wanted to draft Todd Gurley right there, but you snagged him right in front of me.
You got Keenan. He's doing okay.
Yeah.
12th ranked wide receiver, and you got him in the third round.
Yeah,
that's not too bad.
I think he'll be fine.
Any other notable? Okay, here are a couple other notables that we can talk about. Dalvin Cook and Greg Olsen in the fourth round.
Yeah, fourth round, some big injuries there, and Dalvin Cook. Gotta say, Joey would be looking pretty monstrous right now if his third and fourth rounds with Kareem Hunt and Dalvin Cook, if Dalvin was still playing, would have been hats off to taking a risk on some rookies because Dalvin was looking real good until he got injured.
Oh my God, you're right. Wow.
He's still the 15th ranked running back, and he hasn't played since week 4.
And Greg Olsen
going down what in
he
week?
Was not.
He hadn't done any. He didn't do anything. So that's an absolute just wasted, unfortunate wasted pick right there.
Yeah, I would say too bad. Any other big?
I gotta say, DeAndre Hopkins, just because of how unfortunate his season
number 2.
Dude,
oh
it pisses
my
me off.
God!
So I drafted him in the wrong year. He was my number 1 first round pick last year, and had got Brock Osweiler. And then now the Texans with what's the guy's name? The quarterback.
Oh, he's starting him,
off.
Chris is starting him. Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
Is that what it is? Deshaun Watson?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think that's a connection that Chris anticipated having, the Watson to Hopkins connection. But I mean, that's where you want to be right now.
Wow, no, you're right. That's definitely a good one.
I gotta say another, just since we're still in round 4, disappointment for Phil is Jordan Reed. I mean, I think a lot of consensus first first, second, third tight
end,
ends,
yeah.
and he's been really bad, and he's the 34th ranked tight end right now. So that hurts really bad to draft such a high tight end and not get shit for it.
No kidding. Well,
And then
I guess
Terrell Pryor. I would say round 4 is when things
a
start to
bust
go
round.
downhill.
Yeah, dude,
for
look
a
at for
lot
me,
of
man.
people.
Marshawn, dude.
Yeah,
Talk about
Marshawn has just
disappointment.
not really been able to get it going. Terrell Pryor has been disappointing. Jordan Reed, very disappointing. Christian McCaffrey, I would say, very disappointing.
Yeah,
pretty disappointing.
He's 13th ranked. He's 13th ranked running back, and
pretty
you got him
pretty
in the
up
fourth
and
round.
pretty up and down. Going down, Isaiah Crowell, pretty fucking terrible. And then
yeah,
I would
dude.
say round 4, aside from 1 or 2 picks, is a fucking terrible round for the league.
Yeah, man, we fucking blew it, dude.
After how good round 3 was?
No kidding. I mean, I guess the only bust so far in round 3. Oh my God, Amari Cooper. Jesus, that's so bad.
Yeah, really
God,
bad.
for round 3.
I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Like, he's still one of those guys where it's like, do I play him? He's Amari Cooper, But the Raiders just have really fallen off this year too.
No kidding. Doug Baldwin, big disappointment. Oh, besides that one game, he has been pretty goddamn quiet. T.Y. Hilton
He started off really slow, and last week sucked, but he was starting
He's
to
been
pick it up
and
for a while.
down, I guess. Yeah, it's like up and down the last couple of games. 20, 25, then 4, 21, then 1. So we'll see. Demarius,
yeah,
not
pretty inconsistent.
Yeah. So there are a few busts in the third, but yeah, you're right. That fourth round, I would say almost for everybody in our league, that was except for Chris.
Yeah, Chris did nice work getting DeAndre late, and that's really paying off.
And Jimmy took Matt Ryan, who and traded him away, so maybe the trade will end up paying off for him or something. And you still are rocking Drew, and Drew is
he's all right.
All right,
I'm expecting more out of him. So don't disappoint me, Drew. Don't disappoint me, Drew.
All right,
you're my boy, Drew.
You're my boy. Well,
all right,
okay, so let's. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't even know. Like, to summarize what we just talked about for 10 to 15 minutes.
No, I think that
I would say people had pretty decent draft picks overall. The injuries have been the biggest concerns.
What do we count? Like at least 5, 6 major injuries?
And like major injuries and IR, crazy shit. All right, so before we start getting into this week, because we're already getting close to an hour on this thing here.
I hope you guys are fucking satisfied about this.
Since we're at this like kind of halfway point of the season right now, let's make some picks going forward. So
picks.
Picks.
How can we even talk about picks? We are being so bad with even following up on any of the picks.
This is easier because it's, I don't know, when you're picking teams every week, you got to really fucking keep up with that. But I want to like teams that are in the bottom half of the standings of the standings right now. Maybe the 2 and 4 teams. Let's each pick one team that we think is a dark horse that can go on a tear, or all of a sudden the second half is going to be one of the stronger performing teams. Let's pick one of those.
Okay, am I up?
Yeah. You
John.
Go first because I'm not ready.
John.
Are you picking John?
I'm terrified of John's team. Now that look at it this way. Adrian Peterson on Arizona.
Yeah, that's a good point right there. AP
Chris Thompson is the 8th ranked running back.
Yeah, he's the go-to in Washington.
Now, Demarius is kind of up and down. Terrell Pryor has been a disappointment, and Kyle Rudolph, he's the 10th ranked tight end, so it's not horrible. He's also has the Houston defense 7th ranked, and Matt Bryant. And he stole Carson away from me. Well, I just kept dropping Carson because I've been fucking streaming quarterbacks. I can't believe Carson is the 8th ranked right now. God, he's been so up and down. Anyway, John's team is the one that I'm picking. Other than maybe a little bit weak at wide receiver and Russell just not kind of being a little bit inconsistent also, That's a team that I'm really worried about. You still got Zeke. He's going to be playing, this week. And shit, unless anything happens, this 6-game suspension is not going to happen. He'll have him for the rest of the year. He's already had his bye.
If that's the case, that's gonna be big. If you can
Yes.
keep him in his lineup.
So that would be my dark horse for the rest of the year would be Zeke the Sneak, or the what was it? Pissing the tent. What was his
Grandpa's
other
tent.
name? Grandpa's tent. That's what it was. Okay, yeah. John is my pick.
Yeah, I think that's
Also already has
that's a good
2
pick.
of the highest scores this year, including the highest score that we've had so far.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to argue with that pick, I gotta say.
You can pick
I
the
mean,
same one. I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think,
I think I would.
we have
I
to
think
pick different ones. You just have to. Like, I'm just making an argument for John. If you
No,
see somebody else that you can make an argument for, let's do it.
Yeah, no, I've just been going through the other teams. John definitely, I would say, is the standout, especially that he's 2-4 right now, so he's really close to the bottom. But I would say, I mean, and this person I wouldn't say is really near the bottom because they'd be in the playoffs right now. But they are 3-3, so they're still fighting. I would say I'm a little worried about Chris's team. I think Chris could have a really strong second half of the year and solidify a spot in the playoffs, which I don't think he's had in our league since he's been in it.
No.
But looking at his team, I mean, he's got that Deshaun Watson to DeAndre hookup right there.
Deshaun Watson had 2 40-point games in a row.
Yeah, he has been monstrous, and I mean, I don't know why he would all of a sudden start slowing down.
No, he's the
number 1 quarterback in fantasy right now. He's got Fournette, and he's got Brandon Cooks. I would say Brandon Cooks has underperformed, so he could probably, definitely increase his standings on that one.
You know who I think has overperformed?
Who's that?
Carlos Hyde. Look at that.
I would say Carlos Hyde is definitely teetering.
Number 6. He's number 6.
And he should not be. I mean, based on the actual on-field performances, has not been good. He got really lucky last week with a couple scores, but he's been a guy where they've been talking about like maybe trading him away or giving a lot more touches to the Matt Breida guy who's like breathing down his neck. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with Hyde. But I mean, he's got LaShawn McCoy who's on his bench right now. I mean, he's got Sammy Watkins who has to do better than he's done so far. I know he's been vocal about not being happy about the way he's been used. I don't know. I think he's got some really, really top performing guys. He's got the number 1 quarterback, number 2 running back, number 2 receiver, and then he's got some notable names who have really underperformed who really can almost only go up from here. So I'd be a little worried about Chris's team.
He's without Deshaun and DeAndre this week. Houston's on bye, but that stack plus Fournette and Hyde. He's got Cooks. How's Bryant been doing? Other than that, just one game, Bryant's not been doing very well at all. Colby Fleener, I'm curious about, not been doing great except for those first 2 weeks. Alex Collins, not been doing good. So I'm sure that was going to be for LaShawn McCoy. I'm guessing LaShawn was on bye last week.
Exactly,
that's why.
So I mean, his team's certainly not perfect, but
no, and I wouldn't say John's is perfect either.
Really nice pieces.
Yep, I would say where there certainly are some super nice pieces. So yeah, I think that's a really good choice as well.
All right, cool. Well, let's see. So that's an easy one to follow up on because it's only 2 teams we're talking about here. So
our dark horses.
Our dark horses,
the dark horses. Okay.
Our picks for the second half.
Is there any possibility? Do we even have anything written down? Are we even professional at all, or do we have to go back into our podcast and listen to our actual picks for the week just to see how we've been doing?
I think I wrote it down for our picks for week 3, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Now I don't remember.
I wrote down our week 3 picks, and that's all I have written down.
Because I can't remember what the hell we did for our week 2 picks. That was when we
wrote it down on paper. Yeah, we were in San Diego. Yeah, writing it down on paper, that's not gonna work.
That was super smart. Okay, so we'll have to go and listen back to that one, and who knows about week 1. Can we let me take a look at week 3 results really quick.
Yeah, we can. Let's look at week 3. Just get a little
How good
sampling of how fucking amazing we are at these picks.
Let's go. I want to know for Misha and Nicholas Lurch.
So Misha, Nick, we split this one. I picked Misha and you picked Nick, and that was a super close matchup.
You son of a bitch, letting me down. God damn it. Let's see what happened. Oh, Jeremy Macklin and Jason Witten just fucking putting up a 0.5, almost a goose. God damn it.
Yeah.
Jimmy had -1 for the Steelers defense. Kelsey.
Are you looking at Misha's team?
I'm looking at the game right now. The game. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. Damn it, Nick. I was rooting for you. You let me down. Your one fucking loss is the one when I pick.
Nice.
Son of a bitch.
Nice.
All right. Okay. So for Phil and Jimmy.
Let's see. Shit. For some reason, I don't have a name written down for you. That's how good we are at this. I picked Jimmy.
No, we both picked Jimmy.
Oh, did we both pick him?
I think that's what it was.
Oh, maybe that's why I only wrote one.
We can go back and listen to it, but
I
want to say that was
right. I think you're right, and
I think that was at the point. Yeah, where we were just like really thinking that Jimmy's team was poised for everything just to go totally off. Yeah, looking at this,
Phil was like, "Fuck no, dude."
Dude, it was only Antonio Brown and Jared Cook that did anything. Oh, and Matt Bryant. Only players that did anything.
Yeah,
if you look at that game, it's a horrible game. 66.5 might be the lowest output that. Oh shit. Well, so right now I feel like I'm 0-2 and like way off on the 0-2. So that's pretty bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
go.
Let's do John and Joey.
We both picked Joey on this one.
Oh, thank God. All right.
Yeah, we got that. At least we got that.
We got that. Joey really 131 to 108. Okay, so yeah, you did some work, Joe. God, Kareem Hunt and Dalvin Cook together. That was a potent mix.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. All right. So how about we go for how about for you and Stage? What did we end up picking?
So we split that one. You correctly picked Chris. I picked myself. So you got that one.
Yes. I'm like doing the yeah. Go 140.5 too. That was
big week.
Brandon Cooks. Yeah, look at that.
30.5 big game, yeah.
Yep. All right. What did we do for Derek and myself?
We both picked you. So that was good.
Okay. All right. So I think not that bad.
I missed one and you missed two. I mean that's pretty good.
Okay. All right, so that's okay. Not so bad. So we're not as horrible at this.
Yeah, at least for our one week sample size, pretty good, pretty damn
good.
Yep,
pretty goddamn good. Okay, so I guess who knows how long we've been talking now? The guys are probably already home, and the wives are like, "What the fuck are you guys sitting in the garage listening to?" No. That's what we wish is happening.
Yeah.
What should we just go into predictions for this week?
Yeah, let's go into predictions for this week because we're over an hour already, and I think we did a pretty good job of kind of summarizing first half, picking some teams for who we think will really shine in the second half, and so let's look at the actual matchups and kind of see who's going against who, standings wise, and then we'll make our picks from there.
Let's do standings wise first. Okay, so. We got Derek and John. All right. I'm pretty sure I already know where I'm going to go with this one. But at the same time, we do have Tom Brady going against Atlanta, so that could be a very high-scoring game. And it's a Sunday night game. Tom Brady does shine when he is on primetime TV.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun game to watch. I can definitely see that being a high-scoring game. So would not be surprised if Tom Brady throws up high 20s, maybe even into the 30s on that game.
Absolutely. Now I'm not thinking very much of James White. I don't know if that's really gonna pan on out.
James White's always questionable.
Alshon, it's Yeah, I'm not sure. And who knows? There might be some changes. Dude, Jaguars against Indy, though. If the Jags have been playing as amazing as they have this season on defense, they're the number one fantasy defense. Only have a 0 and a 1 week and a 5 the other week. But other than that, they're always in double digits, and 2 weeks are 28.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, I don't know, actually. John's only missing the Texans this week. Derek's not missing anybody. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with John on this one. I mean, sorry. Yeah, I think even still, even with I love Derek's Tom Brady over Russell Wilson, but I just think with the running backs and with AP, Chris Thompson, and then you've got Mike Evans and Zeke as your flex, I just think that those four right there just could even put a stomping on Derek's team.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say I think this is going to be really close, but I'm also going to pick John. I think John, as I said, he's my dark horse. I think this guy is got with Adrian Peterson, Chris Thompson, and Zeke all together, besides being a little thin at wideout and maybe not as great at quarterback. Dude, yeah, I don't know, dude. Those running backs are super scary.
Yeah, and Derek for his running backs, Frank Gore, James White. And then you got people like Jamison Crowder, Rashard Matthews. Certainly could perform higher than they should, but like they just don't scare me a lot.
No, exactly. Like I feel most of the points we're expecting to come from defense, kicker, and quarterback, that's not what we want. But even still, we could be surprised we've been wrong in the past.
Totally.
Okay, so we both got John. Okay, so now what about you? What do you want to take a look at?
Let's do Misha and Chris.
Okay.
So Misha at 4-2, Chris 3-3. So kind of a good battle there, fighting for keeping in that playoff race.
Oh, did we say what the stats were for John and
both 2 and 4? So they're
both 2 and 4.
They're looking to get out of the doghouse.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, so yeah, Chris, he's got a little work to do with finagling his lineup there.
I think there are a few of us that are quite upset with Chris, and whenever you do get back from this fucking long month vacation that you're on, Chris, where you're in like Greece and Italy and all these places, and I've been looking after his fucking cats this whole time too. God damn it, it's fucking.
A lot of people are upset with Chris. I think just you is kind of what you actually meant by that.
Well, I have my own reasons, and I'm not really upset with Chris, but except for this one reason. How many quarterbacks this motherfucker is hogging? He has 3 quarterbacks on his roster. He has Jameis Winston, and he has
Marcus Mariota.
Mariota, yeah.
Yeah, and then Deshaun Watson, obviously. So, yeah, what the fuck? 3 quarterbacks, and then Nick has no working quarterbacks on his team.
Oh, my God. I have a feeling that if anybody's going to be approached about a trade, it might be Chris.
Could be Chris, yeah.
So if that was the case, Chris, steal Nick's best whiteout and get away with it.
But at the same time, a lot of people do hoard quarterbacks in our league just this year and historically. Like a lot of people generally have 2 quarterbacks on their team.
Yeah. Now, for Misha, let's take a look.
So liking Doug Martin, liking Travis Kelce and that Gronk connection, really liking that. Mm-hmm. His kicker looks like he's on IR. I didn't even realize that.
I did not realize that either.
It's hard to say because both of these guys are going to have to do some stuff with lineups.
Well, okay, based off of what they have on their what's on their teams right now.
Let's see. Man, this is tough. I think I'm going to have to give Misha the edge on this one just because 2 of Chris's 3 best players are on bye.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, he is going to be plugging in LaShawn McCoy. He'll definitely have LaShawn McCoy in. So he'll most likely be Fournette, Hyde, McCoy at the flex. Ooh, I don't know, though. Brandon Cook.
I don't want to get into.
Do you think so he might plug in Sammy or something like that, or who knows? Doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do. He's a fucking off in fucking Santorini right now, trying to figure out what to do with his football team.
Yeah, maybe. Well, so you're going to be picking against your dark horse? Is that how I'm
Ooh,
hearing it?
wow. Fuck. I guess I have to pick against my dark horse. But yeah, I think so. Just, I mean,
This is a
just
bad
because
it's a
two,
bad
yeah,
bye
two,
week.
two
Yeah.
of his top three players. I gotta give the edge to Misha on this one.
The Gronk and Kelsey connection is nasty,
Hmm.
but Kelsey didn't really do much this last week. I'm guessing he'll probably end up plugging in the Seahawks defense.
Do you think so? I mean, Titans D looking pretty good too.
I guess against Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Don't like Roger Lewis. I think he'll need to put in somebody else. I don't know about Sterling Shepard if he's going to be playing or not. In all honesty, I feel Misha has a little bit of tweaking to do. Oof, Christian McCaffrey, that's looking good, though. Doug Martin, you're right. I think that's looking good. Cam Newton has been playing a lot better recently.
Yeah.
Oof. I feel there are certain parts of Misha's team, like tiny pieces that are missing. You're right. Chris is missing a lot more prominent pieces, but he still has some good pieces there. Dude, I think this is going to be a really gritty game. You know what? Fuck it. Chris, enjoy your vacation. I'm going to be picking you. The second dark horse I'm picking. We'll split this shit.
All right. Wow. Okay. Even with the big buys there, but
With the big buys, but he still has Mariota and Winston to choose from. Mariota's going up against Cleveland.
yeah, that could be good.
That could be good,
good. All right. Let's got those written. All right. Let's go you versus Jimmy.
Oof. Okay. Let's
And
take
you're 3-3. Jimmy's 2-4. So Jimmy's looking to really bust out of this 4-game losing streak, and you are looking to kind of keep on pace here.
Just stay going.
And yeah, it looks like at least you guys have your teams fully filled out, which is nice.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm like a fucking teacher grading a test right now, where it's like, oh, at least this person actually filled out all the answers.
Yep. I try to participate. I did do a little bit of switching around on the waivers today. I picked up a new defense, a new kicker. So we'll see how that works on out. I did not even realize that Zerline was the number one kicker.
Yeah, kickers it's always strange.
Always strange. He has a one game with 27 points.
Yeah, that's
kicker that has 27. He had 7 field goals.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God, that's crazy. All right, let's see what we got here. So, I mean, Carson Wentz has looked really good this year. That's a good one. I mean,
I'm hoping that Washington is going to be just a firefight. Like Washington has the offense has looked really potent. Like I feel, if they fall behind, dude, they're going to be throwing it. Like I feel Wentz has just got to work. Like they can't take this one easy. Is that a division game?
I don't know.
Washington.
I forget if were they both NFC.
Yeah, NFC East.
Yeah.
Isn't that? Yeah. NFC East. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah. That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
So Eagles are in Eagles are in first place and Redskins are right behind at 3-2. So their Eagles are going to want to play. So yeah, I'm really hoping that's going to turn out well.
Yeah, I mean, love Todd Gurley, love AJ, love Larry Fitz, who's having a fucking monster season.
Number 3, I can't believe that. I don't even remember where I got him.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's looking pretty good. So, I mean, I think there's no super weak links on your team, I would say. Like, Evan Engram, whatever. He's a tight end. He had a nice game last week. Marshawn hasn't done anything big, but he's not bad either. Like, there's nobody that's just questionable or pretty bad on your team, I would say. Let's move over. I like your reaction there. So let's see. Jimmy, Jimmy's looking to get on track. Alex Smith, riding that Jerick McKinnon train, who's been real hot on the Vikings. Antonio Brown, of course. He's got Tyreek going in there now.
He does have a running back going up against his own defense. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's true. That always is unfortunate. It's a double-edged sword there. Man, this one's giving me some troubles. I'm not sure who to pick here. Let's see. Let me look at some of these matchups too. Oh man, tough one here. Like I'm trying to find a reason that I would give somebody the edge versus the other, but these are really looking to be close matchups here. Are you picking your own team?
I think I have to.
Yeah, that is very, very understandable. God, you have some pretty nice looking matchups, like Wentz against Washington, Devontae against New England's really bad. Arizona doesn't have a good defense. Man,
The AJ at Pitt, I'm worried about, but funny enough, he's got Antonio going up against Cincy. So Pitt, I think, is what, number 1 against the whiteouts, and so that's really bad. But at the same time, Cincy is number 5 against whiteouts.
yeah,
So
just to see who shines in that game.
mhm.
Man, God, I really can't fucking pick on this one. It's, I think I'm just gonna have to give you the edge. And the only reason I can even think of is I think Jimmy does have a couple kind of subpar players, like Austin Hooper, Ty Montgomery. How was Deshaun? Deshaun Jackson's been okay. I don't know. I just think maybe he's got a couple players that are very, very questionable whether they'll have good games or not.
Mhm.
So I just think your team might have just a little bit more consistency going right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope for the best. But
I would
knock
say
on
this
wood.
is this matchup is my pick of the week, if there was such a thing, for the matchup to watch out for that will come down to the finish line.
Oh shit! Talk about that's what I feel like, dude. We didn't even did we even get into the results for last week?
No, and I think we're
Oh
I think,
my
I think,
God.
I think we're past it at this point.
Jesus, we can just oh man, because I was gonna say, dude, the game between me and Misha, that was a fucking dogfight. At one point, he was on up, and then I was on up. Then he was on up, then I was on up, and then basically it was all up to him, I think, to for his defense to win it all on Monday night, and it just didn't pan out. It was crazy,
There was a
but
few really close matchups last week. Obviously, Joey's, he came through winning by half a point, unfucking believable. I was up.
all right, we'll finish this and let's just do a quick little preview. We'll finish this up and get everybody
right.
on their way.
All right, sounds
Okay.
good. Let's go for. I'm going against Phil. I'm 3-3. Phil's 2-4. We both have our lineups filled out, which is nice. What?
Oh,
the
yeah, it
fuck?
looks
Why
like
does
that.
Melvin Gordon have a questionable tag? I don't like that.
I don't.
Anyways.
He was limited at practices.
Limited to practice.
God damn it, dude. I don't know. Looking at this, really, they're giving the nod to Jordan Reed over Delaney Walker against Cleveland.
And Jordan Reed has not even been good this year, but Jordan Reed just has that expectation of being a top tier tight end, and they're just going to give it to him.
As funny as it sounds, I really like LeGarrette Blount. Like that is
he's been nice, I gotta say.
Yeah. Now, but at the same time, Michael Crabtree was like amazing, and then he went away, and then he's been amazing again. So I'm not sure.
I don't know what to expect. I
don't know what to
he'll
expect
have
from
a good
that.
game, but you never know.
T.Y. Hilton, I guess you're praying for
Jacksonville, real good defense too.
Yep, exactly. Jordy does not have Aaron Rodgers anymore.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Duke Johnson. Wow, surprisingly, Duke Johnson is the 12th ranked running back.
He's the lone bright spot, I would say, on the Browns. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Kirk Cousins, dude, I don't know, man. I feel there are a lot more question marks on Phil's side than on your side. I'm expecting CJ to do a lot better than last week.
Yeah, that really fucked me last week. I have to agree with you. I feel like when I look at my team, I just see every person has potential to deliver. Will they live up to it is the recurring question.
Now, I like the Darkwa pick. That's nice.
I'm surprised I got him. I have to say this week the waivers were really really minimal. I think there was only like 3 waiver picks. I was really surprised about that.
I want to say a lot of people like I don't think it's going to happen until the buys start really hitting everybody. Like we've had a couple early week buys like week 4, week 5, week 6.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think people are going to get to the point where, once major pieces of their team, like John had one just recently where he had like 3 people on buy or something like that. So I think we'll see more activity. But at the same time, dude, I like. I'm going to go ahead and give you the nod. This is looking good.
All right, yeah, I'm giving myself the nod as well. I mean, I pretty much always do unless it's pretty obvious.
Now,
way, and then
Joey
and Nick. Nice intriguing matchup. They both like to talk a lot of shit to each other, which is always interesting. 4-2 versus 5-1, so a battle of some high performing teams. Nick got to figure out what he's gonna do without Aaron Rodgers. I'm sure he's probably spent no less than 10 hours this week thinking about that, if not significantly more than that. Just knowing him.
Yep.
But I think Nick's got some really nice pieces on his team, though. Le'Veon, Ingram's been having some nice success lately. Devontae has been good. We'll see about the new quarterback situation.
Shit, dude. I didn't even think. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Nick is in fucking trouble. Shit, dude.
Yeah, he lost the connection in addition to the quarterback.
God, Stephon Diggs has been really quiet, injured. Right? He was out. One game, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah, he was out last week.
Last game, last week he was completely out and got injured the week before. Is he even going to be playing this week?
It looks like he's supposed to.
Was a non-participant during Wednesday's practice. The Whiteout didn't practice at all last week and still wasn't ready to take the field Wednesday.
We'll see. I know no guarantees on Diggs there.
It doesn't look like.
I don't
think he's going to play.
You don't think so? Yeah, it's definitely very, very questionable.
I'm picking Joey. No, there's too many questions. Too many questions on this. I'm picking Joe.
Yeah, I've got to say, and the sole reason I'm picking Joey is because he has Harrison Butker.
Oh, dude, that was my fucking guy.
You drafted Harrison Butker, and
he was my Mr.
Big mistake.
Dude, he was my Mr. Irrelevant, and then the team that had him dropped him. They fucking didn't sign him, so he wasn't even on a team when I dropped him. And then all of a sudden,
you should have known. You should have held him on your bench.
Yes, I should have known that an actual free agent fucking NFL kicker was going to be signed, and the guy's name was Harrison Butker. God damn it.
But dude. I gotta say, I mean, Joey's team is looking pretty good. Matt Ryan, DeMarco, Kareem, Julio could certainly have a good game. Kelvin Benjamin's
Matt
been
Ryan and
good.
Julio stack now, so
I gotta say, I gotta call this out because it kind of flew under the radar when it happened. But Jimmy had Kelvin Benjamin and then just dropped him 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I don't even think I noticed that.
Then it didn't even go to waivers. Unless Joey might have made a waiver claim, I don't know, or he could have just picked him up as a free agent. But all of a sudden, Kelvin Benjamin's been really good the last 3 weeks. Like
Cam Newton has been really good.
Yeah, Cam Newton turned it around.
This is if anybody has a goldfish memory in this league, let me be the one to remind you. You do not allow Joey to have his freebies on the fucking waiver wire. That is how Joey wins championships. How many does he have, Sean?
I don't know. It's a lot.
A lot. Let's just say I'm pretty sure it's 5.
That's too much. That's
disgusting. That's disgusting. You know whose fault that is? Assholes. That's our fault. We cannot let him do this shit. Joey, congrats. Sneaky move. Well done. We need to watch out for you.
Yeah.
I'm picking. Yeah.
Gotta have some patience with some of these big name players that start off slow. And then also Joey's rolling some new guys out. Alvin Kamara.
I like that though. Look at that.
I wanted to pick him up, but then I was like, can I really have fucking that many pieces from New Orleans on my team? But yeah, I think he'll be good. I think. I mean, he's got
Hogan. Wow.
Yeah, Hogan's been nice filling in for Edelman a lot too.
Yep. So yeah, dude.
So I just think Nick's got some question marks. What's he going to do at quarterback? Will Stephon Diggs play? Isaiah Crowell has been pretty weak. Got to give it to Joey on this one.
Pretty straightforward. Jeez.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I got him written down, so we're gonna look back at him next week.
Follow up. All right. Now, we're gonna call this. What do we want to call this? We're gonna call this lightning round. Lightning round to finish up the podcast. Get ready. Get rid of this. Go through last week's matchups really quick. Talk about Sean, Joey, Phil, Joey winning by 0.5. Let's see. Anything really stand out to you there?
In Joey's matchup?
In Joey's matchup.
I mean, just him bitching that he already lost, and then he
already lost.
But yeah, I mean, he fucking pulled out a win, and nobody really went off on his team. Nobody was above 16 points on his entire team. So
well, other than Chris Hogan, he had double digit, and Butker. I love saying that, Butker. He had double digits everywhere, even though no big numbers, but double digits.
Yeah, and his highest scoring player was the guy that won it for him on Monday Night Football, DeMarco Murray.
Yep. Unfortunately for Phil, he had 1, 2, 3,
really
4,
bad,
5.
Really bad by most of his team. Aside, I mean, if not for Kirk Cousins, he wouldn't have even been in this at all.
Yeah, I think you're right. 5 guys in single digits is not going to do it for you.
Exactly. So, well, the nice little come from behind win there. We kind of talked about yours and Misha's a little bit. It sounded like it was back and forth throughout the weekend.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say it was just it was certainly a back and forth. We both had like players that didn't perform the way we wanted them to, and then some players that did perform pretty well. But it was very like back and forth. Like I don't feel besides that Thursday night game where we both had our quarterbacks going. I had Funchess going. I can't remember if he had anybody else going that night. I thought he did. He had Christian McCaffrey going. It was just Misha and I were playing the entire week. So it was a fucking an up and down week, but got a little bit lucky and took it by 9 points. So
yep.
That was lucked on out. Now for you, this is a strange one. Dude, I thought you had already had this in the bag because wasn't it like 90 to 70 or something like that? Like coming into it?
It was 90 to like it was at one point in the Sunday night game. I was up by like 15 points, and I had 2 players left, and he had 3. I had 3 players left. He had 3 players left. But it was that Denver game, and C.J. Anderson. I was like, dude, if he even just gets like 10, I should probably be pretty good. He gets fucking 1 point. And then in the Monday night game, I had 1 and he had 3 people left. He had fucking Adam Vinatieri, Rashard Matthews, and Frank Gore.
Frank Gore, yep.
I mean, neither of them did anything really. I mean, Adam Vinatieri had a nice game with 12. I just needed Delaney to have, a decent game too, and he got fucking 3 points. Yeah. So like the 2, I thought I had it in the bag.
That game. That was like a come from behind victory too.
Yeah, they scored 36 points, and Delaney Walker gets 3 points out of all
that.
Now,
where did all those were those defensive touchdowns? Or at least one.
I mean, there was definitely rushing touchdowns in there. Jesus, I don't even know.
You're right. 2 rushing touchdowns. It was Derrick Henry and DeMarco. Each had a rushing touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Marcus had 1 touchdown, a receiving touchdown.
Had a bomb to some guy named Taiwan
Taylor. You're right.
So,
yep, that's right.
A lot of field goals in there, too.
Yep. That's where Derek got a lot of those points.
I was very disappointed. I thought I had it going, and then the last 2 guys I had to play got me 4 points collectively, so pretty disappointed.
Jesus. Now, we already did pretty much talk in good detail about Jimmy and John's matchup. We were talking about that a lot earlier.
Yeah.
We still think John's in a pretty good position right now, and we'll see what ends up happening with Jimmy's team. He did just score 141, so it should be okay. Now, what about Did we talk about?
Yeah, we didn't talk about Chris's and Nick's. Gotta hand it to Nick. Even without any points from his quarterback, he still scores 128 and does get the W. So,
dude, Mark Ingram, yeah, that's what you're saying. Like,
yeah,
dude, those
Ingram had a
2 touchdowns?
monster game, 2 touchdowns. Le'Veon had a huge game. Yeah, his tight end Cameron Brate had a big game. Like, you know, he had enough either really good or pretty strong performances to carry him through nicely. And then, man, yeah, Chris's team, talk about polarizing. Like Deshaun Watson, Fournette, and Hyde all well 20 or well above, and then the rest of his team, you know, almost looks like shit.
Brandon Cooks had his second highest score of the year, so like that's got to be happy with you. And DeAndre had his lowest score of the year.
Yeah, DeAndre gets you 8, Martavis gets you 3, tight end Colby Fleener gets you 0, your flex gets you 7, and your kicker and defense each get you 4. Like, man, yeah, he would have been lucky to get a win there, and yeah, it wasn't even close, honestly. Like, even without a quarterback, Nick still beats him by 20 points. So, yeah, unfortunate. Not nearly enough of Chris's team came out to play, but I think better days are ahead.
Yep, most likely. All right, is that our lightning round?
That's our lightning round. Yeah, we're getting through here. Yeah, the first half of the season in the books. I can't believe we're already halfway through right now.
I know, we missed half of it.
Yeah, we missed half of it on the podcast, but
don't worry, we're here
back
to
in this.
The half year podcast to sum it all up, just to make up for that and cover our asses. We're all good about that.
Yeah.
So, dude, I really hope everybody enjoyed stopping on by, listening. Remember, we do definitely, now that we're all back in town and ready to go, we definitely still want to get some people on. What do you think about Sean? Do you think it would even be possible to have somebody on next week? What do you think?
Absolutely. We should have somebody on next week. I don't see why we wouldn't, unless just nobody cares enough to want to do it. But please speak up. We've got the group text that hasn't really been used much lately. We've got you can post messages on the league page.
Yep.
I like your note, Brian, and the manager's note that says if there are certain topics that you'd like to hear, please throw those in there as well.
That's the last thing that I do have to do. I did say in the post that I was going to put a poll on up. And the poll was going to be, I was just going to list a couple of the things that like we had done today and earlier podcasts before, like a couple of the segments kind of, and just to kind of see what you guys really like enjoy, you know, hearing, like which are the ones that you enjoy the most. If you guys wanted to,
I guarantee one of those topics that you can vote on is not going to be talk more about your team. I guarantee it.
Well, I thought that was going to be like the first topic that I put on up is, talk about everybody's team much more. No, I mean, I was, more thinking like kind of how we do like the pick'ems when we talk about, the rankings, or we do like draft recaps or like standing recaps, player, just it's like kind of little different topics like that, that. And
yeah, maybe you guys have some cool ideas that you've been hoping to either hear about or fucking come on the podcast and let's talk about it together.
Yeah, and if you guys do have any ideas, remember you just always put up a league thread as well, message thread, so we can do that. And I think other than that, I think we're all set, dude.
Yeah. All right. Good shit. Good to be back in this, and looking forward to this week, and looking forward to catching up about it next week.
Yeah, for sure. And good luck, gents, everybody, this coming Thursday, tomorrow, and this coming weekend.
Word.
Y'all.
Skirt.
Boop.